Hello, everybody. So I was really hurt emotionally, and I decided I wanted to read some Shakespeare in addition to the Julius Caesar, which I had read from his play, the Julius Caesar, which I first read and saw and understood after I had already graduated from the University of California at Los Angeles. I was in my early 20s. It was my bachelor's degree, Bachelor of Arts. And I had actually gotten used to William Shakespeare, I guess, or introduced to, used to is different, introduced to William Shakespeare with, I believe, Romeo and Juliet or A Midsummer Night's Dream. I remember Romeo and Juliet in ninth grade, if I remember correctly. And then by, I believe, senior year of high school, when I had changed high schools, three different high schools. But when I had changed high schools, by the end of high school, Hamlet had been what I had read, and an English class. And I should mention I'm of the USA, depending on how many videos you've seen or haven't seen. So I was born in the USA. My parents are immigrants to the USA, but my father's been in the USA for 50 years. And my mother, who just recently passed away, she was in the USA for, I think, over 40 years, I think. Under 50 years, though. But, and I'm wearing my, tattered shirt. You can't see the tattered shirt. But I wrote, I think it's called a soliloquy or a monologue. But this is the really basic, fundamental, I guess, I hope I need to look up the word. Like I said, my English isn't too great, even though I've been speaking English for around 35 years or something. And I've been to, I have a UCLA Bachelor of Arts in History and a minor in Political Science, and I've been to Harvard Law School and to Columbia Law School and to USC Gould School of Law. And I still am limited in my capability to use English vocabulary. But so this is the really famous soliloquy from Hamlet, which I wanted to just basically read really slowly. But I even wrote a soliloquy as for Hamlet, for the character Hamlet in Hamlet, senior year, and I thought it was really great, but I was too scared, I was too afraid and shy I had too much social anxiety to actually read. And my teacher, or the teacher I had, she read what I wrote, and I thought I still think it's really great. I wish I could find what I wrote from senior year of high school, but there was also in after UCLA there was a point or an instance in time where I was too scared, too afraid, too anxious, and too embarrassed to read, to even read from a play, from a theatrical work, or from a written work for theater, for a theatrical work. So now this is the second work I guess I'm reading on this channel as Jeffrey, who I am obviously. But I really like William Shakespeare a lot. I also like Arthur Miller's The Crucible. I like, which is about a witch trial in Massachusetts in, I guess, the 1600s, or a series of witch trials, or a big witch trial dilemma. And there are several. I like Tennessee Williams, not super high I do William Shakespeare. I just enjoy William Shakespeare a lot. But I haven't read too many books in my life, to be honest, and I do read the news, but I don't read too much, and I'm sure that's obvious. But so let's see. I think this, so it's the to be or not to be, the to be or not to be. But I think the words I liked, which related to the hurt I felt, were the pangs of despised love, which if you think about what I am hinting at, you can probably assume what I mean, what the meaning is. What the meaning is, so Hamlet is actually hurt, I think, if I understand correctly. I didn't reread Hamlet yet. I'm just reading from Act 3, Scene 1. But he's hurt because I believe, if I remember correctly, his father was like poisoned to death by his uncle, his father's brother, his patrilineal uncle. And the uncle remarries his mother and becomes king, I guess, of Denmark, and his mother is queen of Denmark. And so, excuse me, sorry. So he's really hurt about, I guess it's patricide. I'm talking about being hurt about like love and possibly like things like adultery, cheating, just time without the individual and what happens and what the reality is of what humans are, male and female, adult humans. So, and you know, what the reality of time is, let's say per year. I just wanted to read this. So different than Hamlet, but I was just feeling hurt, and I was like, I wanted to make a couple of more videos tonight if I could. And I decided to read some William Shakespeare to hopefully not lose, let's say, too much because of the W in William and then Shakespeare. And there's more to it than that, but anyways. So I'm just gonna read from this, and then it continues onto a second page. And I guess it's a monologue, what I'm going to read, or it's called a soliloquy. I'll likely check after and get the term back in my mind, but I haven't been reading too much for like a decade and a half at the least. Okay, and I don't remember what context this is in. I just see like Polonius is the previous and like King are the previous two characters, and then it says enter Hamlet, and then Ophelia is after, and then Hamlet again. So anyways, Act 3, Scene 1 of Hamlet, and I guess the line, if I understand this correctly. And I don't understand the like monologue or soliloquy or whatever it is, whatever the not it, sorry, I didn't mean it, whatever the name of the the recitation of the written work is called. But I didn't I understand when I read it earlier. Oh, I should mention 276 words. I did count the words using my finger, counting each word individually, and the total was 276 words. And it is a sin to not count. Remember this, and it is time. So, anyways, and I do count. When I count steps, walking, I count use of tools like barbell, and I use different numbers for different purposes. But just to be religious and try to be sinless or less sinful, let's say. Sorry, I may have made a mistake. Anyways, so enter Hamlet. Hamlet. Okay. I'm not trying to perform. I'm just reading, and like I said, I don't understand the total thing. I don't remember. I don't understand every word. Remember is different. I don't understand every single word in what's being said. Okay, so ready? Okay, just about to begin. Okay, to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream, and there's the rub, for in that sleep of death what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely. I hope I got that right. I guess my favorite words. The pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin. Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied over with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pitch and moment with disregard their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph in thy orisons, and be all my sins remembered. Okay, so I guess I like like I was feeling like really hurt, as a heterosexually, entirely 100% disposed, 100% human, 0% divine, male adult in my late 30s. So, sometimes thoughts come into the mind, and, the difference though is I only believe in survival and to live, and to continue to procreate, despite what may happen. So, they talk about being like dominant of the species or something. I guess I understand, but survival of the fittest. And I know this was like misunderstood in like Nazi Germany, but just survival, repeatedly survival and continuance of genome is what I enjoy, but I still get hurt because obviously male needs female in humans, and Jesus Christ described this when he, in the Holy Bible, when he speaks he speaks to the Jews, and I hope I'm not messing this up, but when he speaks to the Jews about Moses had allowed divorce, and Jesus Christ explains because men's hearts were hard then, but male was made for female by God, is what Jesus Christ was explaining. And I'm a Muslim, I'm Muslimun. So I believe in the gospel, the Injil, which Jesus Christ was explaining to humans, actually, in his belief of God, God alone. And he was, I guess, explaining to the Jews. And I believe, in the Torah, and I believe, in the Holy Bible, these sort of things. Of course, Moses. But yes, so let's say in honor of better understanding Muhammad and Ali, Hamlet and Denmark and the monarchy of Denmark, written by Englishman William Shakespeare. So to be or not to be, I wholeheartedly, entirely, all won't unless I need to survive again and pretend. I wholeheartedly believe to be, yes. There is no situation where I will have believed to not be, unless the to not be is a way to fake out like an oppressor who would take my life, or like to take my live, sorry, not life. So yes, it would be to pretend, but only to be. So I guess what I'm saying is I've never been suicidally disposed, or should I be predisposed ever to such? Though, genome is different. Anyways, thank you. This was me reading a little bit of Hamlet. I don't know if you can read that very well, by William Shakespeare. My previous, when I was in high school, favorite play by William Shakespeare, because I think, like I said, I had read Romeo and Juliet, and I think we saw A Midsummer Night's Dream, but I don't remember A Midsummer Night's Dream. Even though when I went to the Globe in London, the William Shakespeare Theatre, which he actually built with his, I guess, group, when I went to the Globe, the play was A Midsummer Night's Dream, but I didn't even really pay attention, so I don't even know what A Midsummer Night's Dream is like about. But I have several books, and because of Al Pacino, I really want to read The Merchant of Venice. And I've never been to Venice. I've been to Rome. I've been to the Vatican, and I think I stopped by train in Florence. But this was the limit. So I haven't been to Venice, and I guess Venice relates to Othello and The Merchant of Venice. and there could be different plays in terms of William Shakespeare. And I have Othello, and I have read Othello. But I guess this is really important to read Othello, especially now in 2026. But yes, Hamlet was my favorite in high school of William Shakespeare's books. And after university, my favorite became essentially Julius Caesar because of Marlon Brando's portrayal of Mark Antony. I really love Julius Caesar as a play, but I haven't read too many plays by William Shakespeare. I have many. I've shown in a different video. I think I have King Lear, Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Othello, Merchant of Venice, The Merchant of Venice or Merchant of Venice, Julius Caesar. I have several books by several of William Shakespeare's plays, his written works. Anyways, though, just wanted to read, and remember, continue to survive. Bye, take care.